You are not waiting for the right person, you are waiting for a feeling of certainty that does not exist. And the longer you wait for it, the more of your actual life you spend in a holding pattern that was invented 100 years ago. Every civilization before ours figured something about love and commitment that we have completely abandoned. And the data on modern relationship outcomes strongly suggests that they were right and we are wrong. The 6 month situationship, 2 year exclusive commitment test, and let's move in first. None of this is wisdom. It's anxiety dressed up as a strategy. Why do couples spend most of their time evaluating each other before marriage and not end up with better marriages? Why does the feeling of perfect compatibility so often evaporate once the actual work of relationship begins? And what did every human society before 28th century understand about lasting love that the modern world quietly threw away? We are getting to all of them, but first let me show you exactly how the story you have been telling yourself about your own romantic timeline is costing you more than you realize. Here is a fact that should genuinely unsettle you if you are in your late 20s or early 30s and still waiting for the right moment. For almost entirety of human history, across every culture, every continent, or every economic system, the period between meeting a potential partner and committing to them was measured in days or weeks, not years. In some civilizations, a meeting was sufficient. In others, 2 or 3. In many, you didn't meet your spouse until the wedding itself. We look at that and call it primitive, reckless, the product of societies that didn't value individual choices or emotional intelligence. But those societies produced marriages that lasted, not always happily, that's worth acknowledging, but they lasted. And the question worth sitting with this is, what did they know about how lasting commitment works that we don't? Today, the average relationship timeline before marriage involves roughly 6 months of non-exclusive dating, a year to 18 months of commitment exclusivity, and then potentially years of cohabitation before any formal decision. We have stretched what was once a matter of weeks into a process that consumes the most vital decade of a person's adult life. And at the end of all that careful assessment, we have a divorce rate that has not been meaningfully improved. We have a generation of people who are more informed about their partners than any generation in history, and somehow no more confident in their choices. So something in our framework is wrong, and it starts with the assumption we have built the entire modern approach to love around. Now let's look at what our ancestors actually believed about love. The assumption our ancestors operated from was not that compatibility was irrelevant, it was that compatibility was a product, not a prerequisite. They believed almost universally that what determined the success of a marriage was not the quality of the match made at the altar, it was the quality of intention brought to it. Not who you married, but how seriously committed to making the marriage work once it began. The broad parameters mattered, compatible enough in age, background, values. But the fine-grained emotional alignment we spent years searching for, they didn't believe that pre-existed a relationship. They believed it was what relationship undertaken with genuine commitment produced. You were not supposed to find your person, you were supposed to become someone who could build with another person, and it doesn't require 6 years of getting to know each other phase. In the pre-modern view, love was not discovered, it was constructed. The feeling of deep knowing, of finally understanding and being understood by another person was the result of years of deliberate work together, not starting condition that licensed you to begin. Which simply means every moment you spend searching for proof that someone is already perfectly suited to you by the old framework's logic doesn't exist yet. And the compatibility you are waiting to confirm hasn't been built yet. It can't be confirmed, it can only be created inside the container of actual commitment. Now let's dismantle the soulmate myth. Here is what modern romantic framework actually asks of you. It asks you to believe that somewhere out there is a person who is innately, intrinsically right for you. We have built on this belief so completely that entire industries exist to optimize the search for it. Dating apps running compatibility algorithms, personality assessments that promise to predict romantic success, podcasts dissecting attachment styles to help you determine whether someone's pattern of behavior is ultimately workable or disqualifying. All of it is built on a premise that the right person exists, and the job is not make the mistake of committing to the wrong one before you find them. That premise is the trap. Because here is what happens when you finally commit to someone after all that careful evaluations. The relationship still requires the same amount of daily work as any other. The communication still breaks down. the differences still emerge. Extended assessment process doesn't eliminate relationship challenges, it postpones them. And in the meantime, you have spent years, irreplaceable years, in the window of life when human beings are most physically vital, most emotionally elastic, most capable of growth, in a perpetual evaluation state that was never designed to end. You are not being discerning, you are being afraid, and fear is an excellent reason to delay, but a terrible foundation for a life. Now let's talk about what actually makes a relationship last. Not chemistry, not perfect communication from the start, not clean match of values on a first date or a sense of having known each other before. These things are nice, but they are not the load-bearing structure. The load-bearing structure is a shared, sincere, non-negotiable desire to make the relationship work, the willingness to return after an argument, the capacity to set aside your immediate preferences for the sake of shared life you're building, the decision made again and again in mundane moments, not just dramatic ones, to choose this person over the abstract possibility of someone better. Here is the hard truth. Everyone you could ever be with will be wrong for you in some specific and occasionally maddening way. The question is never whether they are perfect. The question is whether your commitment to the relationship is stronger than inevitable friction. The modern insight, the one we dismissed as backward, is that this commitment is what produces compatibility over time, not the other way around. Two people who are deeply committed to a shared life will develop the precise shared language and intimate understanding that modern romantics are trying to verify upfront. You cannot confirm it before the commitment, you can only generate it after. Which means you have been running the sequence in the wrong order. And the cost of running it wrong isn't just time, it's the slow accumulation of a habit of treating relationship partners as candidates rather than collaborators. So here is the inversion that changes everything. Compatibility is not the precondition of a great relationship, it is the achievement of one. The deepest, most durable partnership in human history were not between people who discovered they were perfectly suited. They were between people who spent decades becoming suited to each other, learning the specific language of the other person, developing the patience their particular differences required, building inside jokes, shorthand, shared memory, the actual texture of intimacy that cannot be simulated during a trial period. Every person you will ever seriously consider will present you with roughly same amount of incompatibility. Different incompatibilities, sure, but the same volume of them. The one you choose isn't the one with the fewest problems. It's the one whose problems you are prepared to meet with your whole self. This doesn't mean marry anyone. It doesn't mean the specific person is irrelevant. It means once the broad parameters are right, you share the same direction, the same fundamental orientation towards life, and the same basic capacity for honesty and growth. And the rest is not a discovery problem. It is commitment problem. And the moment you accept that, the entire premise of extended romantic evaluation collapses. You don't need 6 more years of data. You need a decision. Our ancestors understood something we are only beginning to remember. The person who gets the best marriage is not the one who waited longest. It's the one who committed most fully. Now let's look at what waiting is actually costing you. Here is what the perfect timing framework actually produces. It produces people in their mid-30s who are more informed about what they don't want in a partner than they have ever been, and somehow less capable of choosing than they were at 25. Because every year of evaluation trains you more deeply in the habit of looking for disqualifying information. And the brain that has been running that pattern for a decade doesn't easily switch to a different mode. The waiting isn't protective, the waiting is practice. Practice at not deciding. And here is what you don't get back. The years in which two people could have been building something together. The shared history that makes the relationship feel like home. The children, if you want them, conceived in a body that is younger. The compounded intimacy of decades that only starts accumulating when you actually begin. Nobody reaches the end of a long, well-built partnership and wishes they had spent more time making sure beforehand. They wish they had started sooner. They wish they had been less afraid. They wish the years of their 20s that went to uncertainty had gone to construction instead. You will never have everything in order. You will never have eliminated all the risks. You will never arrive at a point of certainty that a good relationship requires no courage. That point does not exist. The question was never whether you are ready. The question is whether you are willing. We opened with a claim that probably landed uncomfortable. That you are not waiting for the right person, you are waiting for certainty that doesn't exist. Now, You know why every civilization before ours moved faster? Not because they were reckless, but because they understood that what makes a relationship last isn't the quality of the match, it's the depth of the commitment brought to it. If this shifted something, if it named a pattern you have been living in without seeing it clearly, drop building in the comments because that's the work. Not searching, building. Hit like if you feel compatibility is built, not found. Subscribe because this channel goes deeper and you are exactly who it's built for. And if you learned something new, make sure to watch this video to learn how to become your woman's growth partner. And to all the women, make sure to watch it and share it with your partners.